Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So we have some big news today. We have some XRP news. We have some Bitcoin news. But we're going to begin here with this article, and it's titled, Ripple Launches Effort to Promote Blockchain Innovation in the UAE. And we all know why they're there. We went over the cadre of banks that they associate with in the UAE. In the MENA region, they're deep. And we all know there's huge money, huge value to be unlocked in the UAE. You know what's interesting also about this expansion that they're going to be doing? It actually goes hand in hand with something else they're doing. And we'll get into that in the second article. That's right. We got two very interesting articles today, but this one begins right here. And it begins as such. Blockchain solutions provider Ripple is set to team up with Dubai's DIFC Innovation Hub. The collaboration is designed to accelerate blockchain and digital assets innovation in the United Arab Emirates. When I read that, all I hear is money, 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 money. You remember that old song? Money, 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 money. Doom, doom, money. That's just me. It's not financial advice. Believe what you want. Ripple announced Wednesday, August the 7th, connecting developers with DIFC Hub, home to more than 1,000 growth stage tech companies, digital labs, venture capital outfits, regulators, and educational entities. Quote, the UAE is one of the most advanced jurisdictions globally when it comes to offering regulatory clarity for licensed firms to offer virtual asset services and fostering an environment in which the next generation of financial innovation can flourish, unquote. That's coming from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. This is what he said in a news release. Yeah, we were talking about this recently because the UK recently has been stepping up their efforts to become the crypto hub of the world. There's a three-way battle going on. I actually would say there's a four-way battle, but I'll get to the fourth in a moment. The UK has moving at breakneck speeds to become the crypto hub, the DLT hub. Then you have Hong Kong, China. Also, I think they've done. I'm trying to think who I believe is out front, China or the UAE. Now, the UAE has the most activity that I personally been observing, but I'll say this. The connections and those who are working with the Hong Kong Monetary Authority over there are very powerful. You have the BIS over there. You have Ripple over there. You have a bunch of other companies over there working on things. Then their connections with the BRICS nations that they're definitely going to use that to their advantage. But overall, the real winner in all of this is the new financial system. 100%. 100%. They're all adopting and making it necessary to have these technologies. You paying attention to that? You noticing that? Let's continue on here. It says, quote, our partnership with the DIFC Innovation Hub promises to drive adoption of blockchain technology. That's why I was just saying that. They're making it integral, an integral part of the modern day systems. Which means that if all of this works out the way that I'm seeing it, and blockchain is one of the mechanisms in the background, people don't even know they're using it, there could be massive value flowing through these things because of that. It would become necessary for it to be flooded with value at some point. Someone else may think differently. I'll let them explain their ideas. That's just mine. It says blockchain technology in the region as the XRPL continues to be a leading blockchain for the region's startups and scale-ups building real use cases, unquote. And this is another reason. All of these innovations, all of these expansions, another reason why I can't wait to be unleashed. We're just waiting on the judge. Unleash us. Watch what we do. Watch the domination. Once again, I don't know people at Ripple or Volante or SBI, but I'm a humble researcher. I've been watching closely, and with all of these things that have been set up, if we're unleashed, there's no reason why absolute domination is not possible. According to the release, Ripple has committed 1 billion XRP to accelerate the development. So be it. Whatever it takes. Get that building done. Get those, bring in new businesses, expand current businesses, update the technology, make sure we're at the forefront. So when you flip that switch, boom, there's an explosion. That's what I want. Make it absolutely impossible for big institutions and the banks to deny us, make that impossible, make them salivate and want to use every little bit of XRP. It says, and new global use cases. Okay. New global use cases on its XRP Ledger blockchain, providing financial, technical, and business support to developers. Quote. All right. And then they go into a little bit of the funding aspect of that. The partnership comes as American blockchain and crypto firms look to countries like the UAE amid pressure from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Yes, we do have those SEC problems. We're getting through them. It's almost over. But I'll say this. I said 4. So we talked about the UK, the MENA region, and Hong Kong. Listen, the United States always does things in secret. It's just what they do. They don't like to tell anybody. You'll know once they release something. It's like their military jets. They will work on a military jet for the longest time. Lockheed Martin, all these places. You'll never hear about it. People will look up in the sky and say, oh, I see a UFO. It's not, and it might not even be a UFO. It might be an unidentified flying object. It might be a secret project that they're working on. But here's the thing. The point of it is they don't let you know. They've had AI for a long time, testing it out in the background. They had computers before they released the modern day versions of computers. The military was using computers, right? Regular people didn't know about that all way back when. My point is, the United States is always in the game. They just don't tell you, but you can see signs. Why would the United States be speaking with Stellar so much? 1, 2, they have a huge connection with Algorand, Maiden Labs, and MIT. That's number 2. That's another connection. Number 3. Why is Ripple on the Faster Payments Council? 1, the Faster Payments Task Force? 2, and I forgot what it was. Didn't they provide some information earlier this year to some governmental entity that was, they wanted to know a little bit more about the DLT technologies and implementation in certain ways or something like that? I'm sure it's much more intricate what they provided than the actual questioning that was released, right? You get what I'm saying? But the United States is always in the game. They just don't do it out in front of everyone. You'll only know once they've completed things and they're ready to roll it out. That's it. So I'm pretty sure United States is in the game. And then there's a lot of this political nonsense going on. So certain entities may not want to say, hey, we're doing this or that. They're not sure how it will be received. It's typical that one part of the government typically will do something and they'll get it to a point where it becomes a burden of another part of the government. So that way, when it's released, if it's not received well, they don't have to shoulder the burden. You know how that works, right? All right. So anyway, it's sort of like, listen, not everybody was. Remember when they learned in the history of them taking the gold standard away? Not everybody was for that. Right. But once the idea was formed and ready to do that, they take the dollar off the gold standard. It's already too late. Now it becomes everyone's burden. It's not just their burden who came up with the idea. Now it's everyone's burden. Right. That's how it typically goes. I mean, if I'm wrong, you let me know. Right. Which is what I'm just telling you my perspective. So now let's move on to the next article here. So this article here complements the other one. This one is titled Ripple President Ends Speculation on Plans for XRP Ledger Foundation. Now, if this is not a shot of steroids to XRP and XRPL, I don't know what is. Why do I say that? Look at all the other foundations. They had their for-profit branches of certain companies. Then they had their non-profit. And every single time, the for-profit is focused on this over here, and everything that they can't focus on, the non-profit focuses on that most of the time. And so it boosts up the speed to which everything can be developed, deployed. They can bring in better minds. They can reach into areas that the for-profit is not reaching into at the time. It's a shot of steroids. It makes everything better, faster, more potent. But let's hear what Monica Long has to say here. So Ripple president speaks out on new XRP Ledger Foundation plans. In a recent tweet, Ripple president Monica Long revealed plans for a new independent XRP Ledger Foundation. This comes as XRP Ledger Foundation, which supports the growth and development of XRP Ledger, has now been renamed as Inclusive Financial Technology Foundation. Now, here's the thing. That's what's important. Whenever someone renames something, it means the idea, the energy behind it has changed. And you don't want the old energy that's associated with the old name carrying over to whatever it is new you're going to have implemented. This is why people change the names of these things. And it also shows a gearing up or gearing down in mind state. Here, I'm going to err on the side of that they're gearing up to expand and make things better. That's just what Ripple does. Ripple's president has responded to an XRP Ledger community member who had inquired if there may be plans to end the XRP Ledger Foundation, quote unquote, in the wake of the transition. The XRP Ledger community member also sought to know Ripple's plans to support XRP Ledger and the steps being taken to ensure the continued stability, innovation, and decentralization of XRPL. Monica Long, they cropped the tweet here, and this is what the tweet says. It says, "Hi, Jungle." I guess that's the person's name. "Thanks for your questions. As Barath and David mentioned, more details to come, but to clarify for now, the discussions with the XRPLF, XRPL Labs, XRPL Commons, Ripple, and others are about a new independent XRPL Foundation. This is different from the new..." Wait a minute. Do they have two things? So now the article writer, when I'm reading this, it leads me to believe she's talking about one thing. She's talking about two. Is she talking about two new organizations, or am I misreading that? Let me know. Because listen to what she says. It says, between all these companies and others are about a new independent XRPL Foundation. Then there's two dashes, and it says, this is different from the new INFTF. So if the INFTF is different from a new independent XRPL Foundation, you're talking about pretty much two new things, right? Or rather, I don't even have to say new. I don't care if they're new or not, but two things that are going to be going forward to help expand the XRPL, correct? Am I looking at that the right way? It says here, in this regard, the Ripple president, echoing Ripple's CTO statements on the matter, clarified that there are current discussions with the XRP Ledger Foundation itself, XRPL Labs, XRPL Commons, Ripple, and others about a new and independent XRPL Foundation entirely different from the new INFTF entity. Whoa. So I was correct. They didn't waste. I'm glad. I like this kind of article writer. They didn't waste any time clarifying that. Thank you. So this is going to get interesting very fast. Why now? You know I was going to say that, right? Why now? That's a serious question. Why the need for rapid expansion now? Something's going on. When that case ends, they want things to move quickly. And there's a lot. They've done a lot, but there's still a lot to be done. There was a poem like that. It was about winter. I can't remember it. But the man kept repeating something. It was akin to, I have longer to go, or something like that. Was it by Robert Frost? It was about the wintertime traveling through the snow. And further I have to go, something like that. Somebody out there reads poetry. I know somebody out there knows what I'm talking about, right? In response, Ripple CTO David Schwartz stated that Ripple has been in conversation with the XRP Ledger entity to discuss the best path forward for a foundation to serve the interests of the XRP Ledger and community, adding that they are aligned on the next steps and specifics will be shared as soon as possible. See, and this is where they're confusing me. They said separate. Then they go back. It's confusing me again. You guys let me know in the comment section. I appreciate all the comments lately. I appreciate that. Sharing. Some people disagree vehemently with, certain ideas I may have. And some people are very, they agree. I appreciate all of it is good information. Now, this is where it's confusing me. It said, then they go back. They have another section. It's titled XRP Ledger Foundation rebrands to INFTF. In August 6th announcement, XRP Ledger Foundation announced its renaming to INFTF. A backronym for, okay, so they clarify that again, but let's go back to the top. Listen to what they said. Let's see if we can find that spot again. Okay, so then, but it says at the top, XRP Ledger Foundation itself, XRP Labs, XRPL Commons, and Ripple and others, they're talking about a new and independent XRPL Foundation, entirely different from the new INFTF entity. Okay, now I'm interpreting it in a different way. So maybe somebody out there's like, Mick, somebody out there understood immediately what they're talking about. They're like, Mick, are you serious right now, bro? Are you serious right now? Yes. I ask questions. I don't claim to understand everything the first time I read it, especially if they're using confusing verbiage. But maybe why would they rebrand it to INFTF if you're just going to change it later again to something else that's new? You get what I'm saying? That's what makes it confusing. If it's the new INFTF, then why would you then change it once more to something that's supposedly a new and independent XRPL foundation? It's just, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're just confused and they're messing up by changing things too many times. I've seen that with other things as well. I mean, it still may be successful, still may do great things for the XRPL, but just that constant changing, I don't like that. I don't like this. There's something about that. I can't put my finger on it. There's another company that does that. Like, you remember in the beginning, Polygon, Matic, whatever they call it, it was something different in the beginning. Then they changed the name, right? Then now they're saying they're going to change it again, or they did change it again. Why are you changing the names of these things so much? Just make it function well. It's doing well. Stop changing the name so much. Stuff like that. I don't like that. It shows confusion, and I don't like confusion. All right, so we're going to move on now, folks. All right. Somebody out there's like, Alphanim, you've been on the article for too long. I said wrong. You've been on the article for too long. Move on, bro. All right. I hear you. You're probably right. Let's get to some Bitcoin news. I have so many articles and I'm not going to get to do them. At some point, I may just turn this show one day into just a pure podcast and just go for as long as I want to go for. I'm just going to tell you right now. But I'm accommodating people with the times because there's so much to cover. I love it. And I have to cut out a lot of articles. Wait, not that Bitcoin article. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. I'm going to get the potent stuff in. I have two articles. Here we go. This article is titled, Something is Happening. Bitcoin holders scooped up $23 billion in the past 30 days. On-chain activity suggests that Bitcoin whales have accumulated Bitcoin over the past month amid a market slump. Now, here's the thing. Once again, it shows Bitcoin was super bullish before. Why would it not be super bullish after? All the catalysts remain. Once the negative catalysts are gone, what's stopping Bitcoin from skyrocketing? What's stopping it? And if Bitcoin skyrockets at some point, and now we're getting experts saying that, hey, Bitcoin may go off in the fourth quarter towards the end of the year. We'll see if that happens or not. They're not psychics, all right? But if that happens, the rest of crypto will go up as well. Bitcoin, quote, permanent holder addresses, unquote, have accumulated $23 billion of the asset over the past month, according to on-chain data. In a post on X on August the 7th, CryptoQuant founder and CEO Ki-Young Ju claimed, quote, I'm pretty sure something is happening behind the scenes. What? Unquote. What did he just say? I'm pretty sure something is happening behind the scenes. Interesting. The comment came in reference to a spike in 30-day demand change for permanent Bitcoin holders. I told you, I feel the same way. Now, he didn't elaborate on why he thinks on what he thinks is going on behind the scenes, but I believe when prices are down, they were brought down strategically, that's the possibility, and that a lot of big companies and holders, and a lot of them through proxy, are accumulating Bitcoin at lower prices. It says he predicted that within a year, some entities, such as TradFi institutions, companies, governments, or others, quote, will announce that they've acquired Bitcoin in Q3 2024. This is almost exactly what I've been saying in the last few videos as to why everything happened the way that it did, when it didn't make any sense. And that what they said was their catalyst for everything crashing was already well known way before that. Everyone knew that is an economist, an advisor, a researcher. They all knew. This wasn't a surprise. So they lied, in my opinion. They're lying, for lack of a better word. But let's continue on. He says, quote, and retail investors will regret not buying it. Now, see, I won't go that far. I don't care what people buy. Like that, that's up to them. We're already in we're in the end game, folks. The big companies have stepped in. That big money is coming. That bank money is coming. That the institutional business money is coming. The big business money is here. So right now, retail, I'm telling you what I believe is going to lead that next huge explosion is company money. The retail will trickle in after that. They're going to buy at a top. They're going to buy at a high. It always happens that way. So I'm particularly not concerned with retail money at all, but I guess some people are. I'm not sure why. But he says, quote, and retail investors will regret not buying it. Well, I don't understand that. Do you have regrets if you chose to not do something? They made the choice. You made the choice. See, I'm just different. If I make a choice, I live with it. No regret whatsoever. What I choose to do, I meant to do it. I don't feel sad about doing it. And I move forward and I don't look back. It says, we'll regret not buying it because they were worried about the German government selling Mt. Gox and U.S. government as well. Remember that Silk Road Bitcoin, put them in there also. Don't give them a buy. It says, or whatever macroeconomic, uses an expletive here. I'm not going to curse here. It says, was going on, unquote. I see where he's coming from. Yeah, okay. I can respect that perspective, sure. In a separate X post on August 7th, Key Young added some kind of crypto alert just popped up. It said extra special alert. I don't know what that is going on. Something must be going off. I must suppose something went up. Anyway, that definitely caught my eye. That caught my eye, folks. It says, Key Young added another couple of bullish factors, such as Bitcoin miner activity. Quote, miner capitulation is nearly over, unquote, he said, adding that hash rate is nearing all-time highs, and United States mining costs are around $43,000 per coin. So hash rate is likely to remain stable unless prices dip below this level. Quote, retail investors are mostly absent, similar to mid-2020, unquote. Now he's saying that. Now look at the prices where everything is right now. If you're saying retail is absent, and yet, in my opinion, and maybe I've just been through too many crashes, we've seen horrible times, right? Maybe that's affecting me because the prices don't look too bad. Considering the absolute chaos and all the fear detectors are, really leaning towards fear. Despite all of that, I don't think the prices crashed too badly. This is my humble opinion. Maybe some things they came up a little bit more, but you're looking like Bitcoin as an example, and then Bitcoin leads, so that's important. It didn't look too bad to me. Like 55,000, 56,000, something like that, 57. I don't know. That's not too bad. So if he's saying retail is absent, that tells you a lot of the story about what is propping up Bitcoin's prices, not just long-term holders, those companies. Like I said, look at gold, how it's getting propped up by central banks and companies. There may be a similar story getting painted very soon. So this article is titled, Expert Pinpoints 7 Factors to Drive XRP Price Double Digits. Now, this is interesting, right? So he's talking about the regulatory clarity, but now this is an interesting point I don't remember seeing before. He said, and this is coming from someone named Grism. It says, first, Grism cited the significance of XRP's regulatory clarity. He noted that when Ethereum obtained similar, quote, clarity, unquote, its value skyrocketed from $7 to $1,500 in less than a year. Now, obviously, he's not saying that XRP is going to go that high to that price, but he's saying that it could skyrocket. It's the possibility is there. There's a precedent that has been set. However, it is important to clarify that Ethereum took several years to rise from $7 in 2016 to $1,500 in 2021. Yes, but also let's put in one caveat is that Ethereum doesn't have hundreds of banks set up on the side ready to flood it with money, flood it with capital value. It didn't have that. XRP does. Now, I'm not putting a price out there where I think it can go. You make up your own mind, but that's a heck of an advantage. It didn't have a global system set up ready for it to be flooded with capital. All right. So that's something I take into account. Then he also talks about XRP, the ETP. Additionally, the seasoned trader mentioned the recent introduction of an XRP-based exchange-traded product. While he remains uncertain about the exact impact this ETP might have on XRP's value, he is optimistic about its potential benefits. We've heard that, we've heard a lot of people speak about that. So we'll see how that plays out in the future. He also mentioned that post-Bitcoin halving altcoin rally typically leads to inflated price action over the subsequent 6 to 18 months. XRP could be one of the beneficiaries of this trend. It was last time. A lot of coins went off last time in 2021. A lot of coins went off. So yeah, sure. If it happens like that again, and I believe it's definitely possible, that definitely could have an impact. Lastly, Grissom is also optimistic about XRP due to Bitstamp, a Ripple partner that offers international FX trading over the XRP ledger, being acquired by Robinhood, a popular retail trading platform. He expects that this acquisition will lead to increased support for XRP, a few other things as well, right? Making it available as a trading pair with various national currencies on Robinhood. All right, so now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.